just going to have a look at the combine tool. I've created two objects here and I'm going to combine them together. I'm going to use the combine tool, which is in mesh and combine, and I'm going to show you the difference between doing this and using a Boolean. So I'm going to take these two cubes here, select them both by dragging, clicking and dragging and selecting them there, and I'm going to use the combine tool, which is this one here. Now if we go to wireframe mode and press 4, you'll notice that the cubes remain exactly intact, it's just that they're intersecting and now they're a single object. This is different to if I use a Boolean. So if I select those objects and I go to Mesh, Booleans and Union, what it will then do is it will create a continuous mesh all the way around, and it'll cut out any intersecting parts there. Now this is something to consider if you're making low polygon objects, because if we have a look at this Boolean and Union, where it's a continuous mesh that goes all the way around and there's no intersection, it's basically made it so that if I triangulate this, wherever that's gone, you'll see that all the points have been connected together, and it doesn't intersect. We can go inside it, and you can see that it's created this kind of cavity here, so these faces don't intersect. It's also created a lot of polygons, so we have triangles, 56 triangles, and that's because it's fusing together things like these vertices here, that one there and that one there. It's connected it and connected faces to these vertices to make this whole mesh a continuous mesh without an intersection. And this is opposed to, if I undo this, if I take these two objects and if I just combine them by going to mesh and then combine, if I then go to wireframe, you'll notice that inside it lets it intersect, and that's fine, that's okay. And I'm using less triangles as well because it's not having to connect all of these vertices and edges together. So on the whole, if you're creating a model for working in a game, usually you want to keep poly counts quite low, so you normally use mesh and combine rather than the Boolean method, and that's the icon for it there. So I normally use combine rather than the Boolean Union because I'd want to keep my polygon count low. However, if I want to create a mesh that is for a collision object, then I would want to use the Boolean because I need a continuous, usually collision objects which are not seen by the game player, by the player. They're usually invisible objects. They usually have to form a continuous blanket over an object in order to be able to have to allow objects to collide with it, and that's where you don't want intersecting faces. But on the whole, if you're working on something that's going to be shown in a games engine, usually when you combine stuff together, this intersection is fine.